Morning to all. So today we are going to deal with another webinar topic, which is the current employee retention trends. So we know that all the employees in an organization expect something from the company, much more than the kind of rewards, incentives, or the package they are expecting from the company. So coming to the current scenario, we could see that employees nowadays expect the things like a better working environment, a much work-life balance, a good working climate are some of the kind of things which the employees normally expect from the company, apart from the kind of incentives, rewards, or the package that are normally expecting from any kind of job. So work life, in the sense, they expect to work as a team when it comes to any kind of job profile they're currently working on. So coming to the kind of work life they're working as to work in a team, mainly we know that human beings are kind of social human beings, so they like to interact with the people they're working with. So once they have a team, there will be a team to motivate them. They could share the kind of the work related experiences. Moreover, regarding sharing the kind of experiences that they have regarding the work, they could try to learn much more things from the kind of the team that they're working with. They could try to create new innovative ideas of their own, and they could share it with the kind of team members that they're having in the kind of work environment in which they're working with. So if they have a team, they would feel more motivated to work in the kind of the work setting in which they're performing their role. And other important aspect is their job performance would be enhanced to a much greater extent, which would in turn fetch them much higher rewards or incentives that they're normally expecting from the company. So coming to the work climate, normally any employee who is working in a company would like to have a healthy environment in which they are able to maintain good environmental as well as good employee and manager relationship. So if there is a good relationship, if there is a good working climate that is happening in a particular company, it would mean that they could communicate whatever the kind of issues or problems that they have with the process of the company. They could directly speak that to the particular concerned supervisor or the manager. So once they can do that kind of a thing, it would reduce the line of communication between the managers and the employees. And even if a minute problem exists in a particular process, such kind of things will be put to the notice of the manager or the supervisor, and they can resolve it then and there itself. So that is a kind of most important thing when it comes to work climate perspective. Then there are certain other things which they expect, which include the recognition and rewards from the side of the company. So when they have a self-recognition from the side of the peers, the managers, and the particular other line of departments, they would feel more motivated to work. So these are the things which employees normally expect from the company. So when these expectations are not met, they will have a tendency to look for other jobs in other companies or organizations. They would tend to leave the job and move on with they would move on to look for any other further jobs in the company. So what the companies need to do in order to retain the employees. So it is a very important fact that the company needs to adopt certain measures to retain these kind of employees in the organization. So according to the current trends, what the companies normally do in order to retain these employees who form a pivotal role in playing the most important roles which adds on to the productivity and profitability of the organization. What they do is, first and foremost, is providing the proper package according to the kind of job position that they are having. In the sense, equal pay for the equal kind of job roles. So those people performing the same line of work should be provided with the same package or the same kind of remuneration that they are expecting, with an exception to the kind of experience they have. Second thing is, when an employee comes to an organization, they should be provided with the kind of guidance and orientation regarding the kind of work process and how it is being functioning, and they need to be in line of communication with the kind of peer members that they are working with. So the communication line should be reduced. They should have access to communicate the kind of things directly to the supervisors or the managers, so that the line of communication would be reduced and they would feel a much more sense of freedom and belonging to the organization in which they are working on. So this is another important thing. The third important thing that the company usually need to adopt in order to retain their employees in the company, in the organization, is that they should give the sense of recognition to the employees. So I mean, like, if you recognize the employee as being an asset to the company and value them as being something which is worthful for the company to be accommodated in the company and make them to be a part of the company, the employees would feel kind of a sense of belonging to the company. They would perform much better, and they would find their own weaknesses within them. They would try to rectify it. They would try to learn more from the process in which they are currently working on. So by adopting such a feature or retaining measure which is adopted by the company, not only would they be able to retain the employees, but the employees themselves would be able to adapt to the kind of changes which is happening place in the work environment. Another most important feature or measure which is adopted by the company to retain the employees within the organization is the training and development measures which are adopted by the company. So if they are conducting like a training and development program or things like that, or a learning session and all, they would feel the employees would feel much motivated, and moreover they could learn new skills and new techniques which they can adopt in the kind of work which they are performing. So not just that they could perform the kind of work they are normally doing, they could come up with creative, innovative ideas. They could learn new skills which not only would be useful for performing that kind of work in the particular work environment, but they can utilize it for their career progression as well. So apart from the fact that providing the training and development in particular areas for the employees, the company could normally, according to the current trend, the companies are also providing cross training. Cross training, the trends, they are not just the employees are not just limited to working in a particular area, but they are also provided with a chance like to work in any other departments, a kind of a different kind of a challenging job role as well, so that they can have an access and an idea and experience regarding the different kind of job roles within the particular company itself. So once they get an idea regarding how to work and how to do the kind of different kind of job positions or this kind of challenging tasks that they have been assigned with, they will be able to move on to any other company and adapt to the kind of job positions that they are actually looking for. So they will have a career progression of their own. They will be able to improve their skill sets, and they could ultimately contribute much more to the company, which the company normally expects from the kind of resources they have. So we could say that these are some of the most important measures which the company is adopting. So apart from these, certain kind of engagement programs are also being adopted by the company, in which the company conducts sessions like employee engagement programs, mainly for initiating the active participation of the employees within the organization. So once we have like an active participation from the side of the employees, they would feel more motivated, and in case of the scenarios where there requires a decision making process to be done by the employees within the organization, it wouldn't require much time for them to come into the process, to act as a kind of a leader in that kind of process and make the decisions accordingly. So employee engagement programs also forms an important aspect in this, and companies nowadays give more importance to these kind of programs created. And moreover, they also provide certain recreational facilities, and programs are being conducted on a periodic basis, so that it gives a kind of a sense of belonging to the kind of employees who are working in the company. The employees will feel kind of a sense of belonging to the company. They would not prefer to leave the company at all. Like they would be fine and comfortable to work in that kind of an environment once the company provide the freedom, once their required necessities and the the required needs of the employees are being met. Moreover, the companies nowadays are providing a lot of benefits apart from the health insurance benefits, or the group lifetime insurance, or incentives, or different kind of bonus schemes. So apart from that, many type of benefits are being provided by the company nowadays. So the employee is also apart from the career progression, apart from improving the skill set, apart from the cross training programs, they are also being able to benefit financially. They are also being able to benefit, get other kind of benefits from the company, which makes them valuable to the organization. So we could see that these are some of the current important trends which is followed by the company nowadays in order to retain the employees in the organization. Thank you.